A legacy of broken vows. The Afghan Taliban's history of deception. The Afghan Taliban have long been shrouded in controversy, their history marred by a pattern of broken promises and shifting allegiances. From their rise to power in the mid-1990s to their resurgence in recent years, the Taliban have consistently demonstrated a disregard for international norms and a penchant for deception. This legacy of broken vows has had devastating consequences for Afghanistan and the wider region, sowing seeds of mistrust and fueling instability. The Taliban's modus operandi has been to present a moderate face to the world while clinging to their fundamentalist ideology behind closed doors. This duplicity has allowed them to secure concessions and manipulate international actors to their advantage. However, their true nature inevitably reveals itself, as seen in their brutal treatment of women and minorities, the suppression of basic human rights, and their unwavering support for terrorist organizations. The Taliban's history is replete with instances where they have reneged on their commitments, both to their own people and to the international community. This pattern of deception has made it exceedingly difficult to engage with them in any meaningful way, as their words carry little weight. The international community has learned time and again that trust in the Taliban is a dangerous gamble. Their broken promises have come at a steep price, perpetuating conflict, undermining peace efforts, and plunging Afghanistan into further chaos. As long as the Taliban continue to operate in this manner, the prospects for a stable and prosperous Afghanistan remain bleak. The world watches with a mix of apprehension and frustration, hoping that one day the Taliban might break free from their history of deception and choose the path of peace and reconciliation.
Saudi Arabia's encounter, a cautionary tale from the Afghanistan File. Prince Turki Al-Faisal Al Saud, in his revealing book The Afghanistan File, offers a first-hand account of Saudi Arabia's ill-fated dealings with the Afghan Taliban. As the former head of Saudi intelligence, Prince Turki was directly involved in attempts to persuade the Taliban to extradite Osama bin Laden in the years leading up to the 9/11 attacks. His experiences provide a chilling glimpse into the Taliban's manipulative tactics and their blatant disregard for international pressure. Prince Turki recounts how in the late 1990s, Saudi Arabia made strenuous efforts to engage with the Taliban, hoping to secure bin Laden's extradition and prevent Afghanistan from becoming a haven for terrorists. Despite initial assurances from Taliban leader Mullah Omar, these efforts proved futile. The Taliban, under the guise of Islamic Brotherhood, repeatedly shifted their stance, using delaying tactics and making unreasonable demands. The Afghanistan File exposes the frustration and disillusionment felt by Saudi Arabia as they realized the true nature of the Taliban regime. Mullah Omar, despite claiming to be a pious Muslim leader, blatantly broke his promises and accused Saudi Arabia of being a puppet of the West. This betrayal led to a breakdown in relations and ultimately contributed to Prince Turki's resignation in protest. Saudi Arabia's experience serves as a stark warning to any nation contemplating engagement with the Taliban. Their story highlights the inherent dangers of trusting a group that prioritizes ideology over pragmatism and deception over honesty. The lessons learned from Saudi Arabia's encounter should serve as a guide for Pakistan and other regional actors as they navigate the complexities of the Afghan conflict. Echoes of the past, Pakistan's present-day struggle with the Taliban. Today, Pakistan finds itself grappling with the same challenges that Saudi Arabia faced decades earlier. The Taliban's return to power in Afghanistan has resurrected old demons and exposed Pakistan to renewed security threats. Despite years of engagement and attempts to foster a cooperative relationship, Pakistan's experience with the Afghan Taliban has been fraught with difficulties and disappointments. The Taliban's failure to address the presence of the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, on Afghan soil has been a major point of contention. The TTP, an offshoot of the Afghan Taliban, has been responsible for numerous terrorist attacks within Pakistan, targeting civilians and security forces alike. Despite assurances from the Taliban leadership, the TTP continues to operate with impunity, launching cross-border raids and destabilizing the region. Pakistan's frustration with the Taliban's inaction is palpable. Media reports are replete with accounts of escalating violence, border clashes, and accusations of broken promises. Statistics paint a grim picture, with the number of terrorist attacks in Pakistan rising sharply since the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan. The Global Terrorism Index reflects this deteriorating security situation, with Pakistan's ranking plummeting in recent years. The parallels between Saudi Arabia's past experiences and Pakistan's current predicament are striking. Both nations have been burned by the Taliban's duplicity, their hopes for a stable and cooperative Afghanistan dashed against the rocks of broken promises. Pakistan, like Saudi Arabia before it, must now confront the consequences of its ill-fated gamble on the Taliban, seeking new strategies to safeguard its interests and protect its people. Terrorism has profoundly affected Pakistan's stability, posing significant challenges to its social and economic fabric. Over the years, the country has faced numerous terrorist attacks, leading to loss of lives and creating an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. The persistent threat of terrorism has strained Pakistan's resources, both financially and militarily, making it difficult to maintain internal security and stability. Moreover, the impact on the civilian population has been devastating, with many communities living in constant fear of violence. It's clear that addressing terrorism is crucial for Pakistan's future stability and prosperity. Pakistan finds itself in a strategic dilemma, balancing its national security concerns with the need for regional stability. The country's geopolitical position requires it to navigate complex relationships with neighboring countries, particularly India and Afghanistan. Dialogue and diplomatic engagement are essential to resolving long-standing conflicts and building trust. Without open channels of communication, misunderstandings and hostilities are likely to persist, exacerbating tensions in the region. Therefore, fostering dialogue is not just beneficial but necessary for Pakistan's strategic interests and regional peace. Regional cooperation is imperative for addressing the multifaceted challenges that South Asia faces. Issues such as terrorism, economic development, and climate change require collaborative efforts and shared solutions. By working together, countries in the region can pool resources, share intelligence, and implement joint initiatives that benefit all parties involved. Enhanced regional cooperation can lead to greater stability, economic growth, and improved security, creating a more prosperous future for everyone. It's a critical step towards overcoming mutual challenges and fostering a spirit of unity and collaboration. India's growing influence in the region has raised concerns for Pakistan, particularly in terms of security and economic competition. As India expands its economic and military capabilities, Pakistan is wary of the potential implications for its own national security. The evolving dynamics between the two countries necessitate a careful and strategic approach to diplomacy and defense. Pakistan must navigate these changes while ensuring its own interests are safeguarded. Addressing these concerns through constructive dialogue and cooperation